Welcome back to the physics class, my dear students. So, hope you all written the numericals as what I discussed in the previous class, and hope you all kept your calculator with you to just solve the numericals as what I am going to discuss today, my dear students. So, still so many numericals we have to move on for the discussion. So, now I am just moving with the next question. So, my dear students, I am going to read the question once. So that while I am going to read the question, you should pause the video and write the question, and afterwards just move for the writing of the solution and also observing how to solve the numerical. One thing is, so I am not going to write the question over here so that it takes a lot of time. So while I am reading the question, by that time itself you should note it down, right? So dear students, now I am moving with the next question. The question was like this. A stone is projected vertically up from the top of the tower at a velocity of 9.8 meter per second. Full stop. It reaches the foot of the building in 4 seconds. What is the height of the tower and the velocity of the stone when it reaches the ground? See, I just read the question now. So, pause the video and take down the question carefully. So, I am moving with the solution, my dear students. I am moving with the solution for this question. So, this question is not in the PDF that what I uploaded. Hope you all written the notes. Okay. So, that you should submit the notes, right? You should submit the notes when we people are going to call you for the correction. So please update the notes by the same day itself. See that I am just going to read the question and again I am going to write the given values. A stone is projected vertically up from the top of the tower. See here, for this reason I am going to write the tower first. So let us assume that this is the tower, right? So let us assume that this is the tower. So let us assume that the height of the tower is h. Then what we are going to happen here? So it was given in the question. We are going to project a stone vertically upwards from the top of the tower. Means from top of the tower we are projecting a stone upwards, right? So that the question was continued. So the velocity is 9.8 meter per second. What is the velocity of the stone? So I am just going to consider the stone, whereas the stone is projected vertically upwards. Vertically upwards. See how much distance it may travel. See, it may travel some amount of distance in the vertical direction and again it returns back to the ground. This we know, right? The stone is going to reach some height from the top of the tower and after some time it comes back to the ground. Then what is the initial velocity they given? The initial velocity is 9.8 meter per second. Yes. Now next the question was continue. It reaches the foot of the ground. It reaches the foot of the building in 4 seconds. It reaches the foot of the building in 4 seconds. So now the time taken by the stone to reach the ground is 4 seconds. So that time is equal to 4 seconds. So only these values are written, but please be careful, my dear students. I am going to throw the stone vertically upward, but after some time what the stone is going to do? It comes back to the ground, right? I am repeating again. I am going to throw the stone vertically upwards, but after some time it returns back to the ground. It means the projected direction is upward, but the stone took a direction downward. It means the direction of this velocity becomes minus, that is what? Minus 9.8 meter per second. Next, what is the height of the tower and the velocity of the stone when it reaches the ground? So this is initial velocity u. So after time t is equal to 4 seconds, this stone is going to reach the ground with some final velocity, say v. So we should calculate the total height of the tower, which is equal to question mark, and v is equal to question mark, that is final velocity is equal to question mark. So we just return the diagram for the given question and also we return the given values. Now let us move for solving of this. To solve this distance, to calculate the height, we have the formula h is equal to ut plus of 8t square, right? Here we should calculate h, okay? We have the value of u, we have the value of t, and now I should know the value of acceleration. Because they given the question, observe the question, it is projected vertically upwards. It is projected vertically upwards. It means the stone is projected vertically upwards. But even though the acceleration due to gravity is always acting in the downward direction, the stone starts falling in this way towards the ground itself, so that the acceleration A of a stone becomes equal to acceleration due to gravity G, whereas for downward motion acceleration is always positive. So that which is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. We have all the values. Let us move for the calculation. H is equal to, what is the value of u? It is minus 9.8 into, what is the value of t here? It is 4. Close the bracket, plus, and here it is of into, what is k? 9.8. 9.8 into, what is t? It is 4. Here it is t square. So it becomes 4 square. Simply I can write that 4 square as 16. 4 square as 16. Right. So now here it is 2 ones are right. 2 8s are right. That is what. Now remaining is h is equal to minus 9.8 into 4 plus, okay, 9.8 into 8. See, here 9.8 is common. So I am going to take 9.8 outside. Remaining is minus 4. Here remaining is plus 8. So that h is equal to 9.8 into minus 4 plus 8 is 4. So my dear students, hope you are having a calci. So that the calculation of 9.8 into 4 gives you. So you can calculate, right? So just open your calculator and move for the calculation. Just calculate it and give the answer. Okay, hope you all calculated with your calculator, so that the value turns out to be becomes equal to 39.2. Whereas h is the height, is the distance, so that its SI unit is meter. So finally we calculated the height. Now let us move for the calculation of final velocity, that is v. To calculate this formula, we have that v is equal to u plus at, right? Now v is equal to, what is u? U is given in the question, that is minus 9.8. Substitute it as minus 9.8 plus, what is the value of a? That is plus 9.8. And here it is into t. What is the value of t given? It is found to be equal to 4. Yes, in both these terms we have 9.8 as common. So take 9.8 as a common term. Remaining is minus 1 plus 4. So that b is equal to 9.8 into minus 1 plus 4 is 3. So 9.8 into 3 is your calculator. So that it becomes equal to 929.4 meter per second. Meter per second is the SI unit for velocity. Hope you all got this. So my dear students, this is about the first numerical that we discussed now. Let us move to the next numerical. So that Don't forget to place the calci with you, and also don't forget to write the question that while I am going to dictate. So that if you write the question, then you can easily solve the answer. Right. Now I am going to dictate you the next question, my dear students. So let us try to take down that question now. Yes. Rain is falling vertically with a speed of 30 meters per second. A woman rides a bicycle with a speed of 10 meters per second in north-south direction. First up, what is the direction in which she should hold her umbrella? See, I just read the question. Now let us move for the solution. So, I am just moving to the solution. So, hope you all written the question, my dear students. So, respect to the question, we should write the diagram first, so that we will get the idea how to solve the answer. Rain is falling vertically with a speed of 30 meters per second. Yes, what the given? The rain is falling vertically. Yes, now let us write that the rain is falling vertically. Yes. So it is falling vertically, right? So what is the speed they given? The speed of that is going to be 30 meters per second. So I am just going to write it as VR. That is what? The speed of rain. Speed of rain. Velocity of rain is represented by VR. And the question is continued. And a woman rides a bicycle with a speed of 10 meters per second in the north-south direction. So they given that there is a woman, whereas that woman is just going to ride the bicycle from north-south direction. So the woman is riding a bicycle from north to south, north-south direction. So that woman is riding the bicycle. So I am just going to write it as cyclist. Velocity of a cyclist. Speed of a cyclist. So simultaneously let us write the given values. The velocity of a rain is equal to 30 meters per second, which was given in the question. And velocity of a woman, that is what velocity of a cyclist, is equal to 10 meters per second. Yes, this much we written. Now, what was the question? See here, what is the direction in which she should hold a umbrella? So now that woman is exactly moving, so that from north to south, whereas the rain is falling vertically, right? Then in which direction she should hold an umbrella? We don't know exactly the direction, but here we have these two directions. That is what exactly that the rain is falling vertically downwards. So that this is the direction of the rain, as well as this is the direction in which the cyclist or the woman is riding a bicycle. So in which direction the woman should hold the umbrella? Resultant of any two. So I am just going to consider that maybe, because I don't know exactly, so I am just going to write, I am going to assume that maybe the girl is going to hold the umbrella in this direction. So that here I am just going to write it as V. Resultant of VC and here is V. Right. So for this I am just going to draw the parallel here. See, here also I am going to draw the parallel. Right. You can observe that this is said to be angle theta, because through which angle she is going to hold the umbrella we don't know. Through which angle she is going to hold the umbrella we don't know. That we should calculate it now. Hope you all written the given values and hope you all written the diagram that what I have written on the board. Yes, hope you all written the diagram, my dear students, so that on which formula we can use, exactly on which formula this numerical is depends on. So we should know that first to apply the numerical. So to apply the formula for this numerical. You can observe that here we have the two different velocities. With respect to these two speed, with respect to these two velocities, the girl should hold umbrella, right? So then I can say that. Then I can easily calculate that. My dear students. It is a numerical which is based on relative velocity. Why? Because relative to the velocity of the ride, relative to the speed of the cyclist, that girl should hold the umbrella. That is what the question they given. You can observe what is the direction in which the girl should hold her umbrella. Now, then what we should do now? We should calculate the relative velocity of a ride with respect to the cyclist. Relative velocity of a ride with respect to the cyclist. So that that woman should protect herself from the ride by holding an umbrella in such a way that that direction in which she is going to hold an umbrella is exactly at the position of V. That V is called as the relative velocity. So that this numerical is based on relative velocity. So now I am just going to calculate. So VRC, that is what? Velocity of train with respect to cyclist. So that this can be written as VR minus VC from relative velocity, right? Now VRC is equal to, simply you can write it as V, no problem. Then what is the VR? Here it is given that 30 and here it was given that 10 is the value of VC. So V becomes equal to 20 meter per second. Yes. Okay. I calculated the relative velocity. Then exactly at which angle exactly that the girl is going to. So in which direction does the girl is going to hold the umbrella? That we should calculate it here now. So this is the direction, along the direction of relative velocity. So we came to know that along the direction of relative velocity, the girl is going to hold the umbrella. Through which angle? This is said to be angle theta. So this, according to mathematics, this angle also becomes theta. So we should calculate this angle. ಎಷ್ಟು angle take your umbrella na hold ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So to calculate this, so it is right. I'm just using a tan theta. So I'm just using a tan theta to calculate this. So this is VR, this is VC, and this is a right angle triangle. If you just consider, this is a right angle triangle, right? This is said to be 90 degree, and this is theta. So opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse, right? Opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. My dear students, tan theta can be written as opposite by adjacent. I am going to mention you. This is a 90 degree, whereas theta is opposite is an opposite side of the karithi, right? So here it becomes adjacent side, here it becomes adjacent side, here it becomes hypotenuse side. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ tan theta ಯಾವ ತರ ಬರೀತೀರಾ? Tan theta is equal to opposite divided by adjacent, right? So opposite ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? The opposite side ಯಾವುದು parallel? This opposite side is parallel to VC. So this can be written as VC divided by adjacent side is exactly VR. So this VR. So I am going to calculate that angle. So now tan theta is equal to. So we came to know that along the direction of relative velocity, that girl is going, that woman is going to hold the umbrella. Then through which angle that we are going to calculate now? Tan theta is equal to VC by VR. So VC is found to be equal to 10 and VR is found to be equal to 30. 0 cancel, remaining is 1 by 3. Now I want to calculate theta. So because I got tan theta is equal to 1 by 3. So here you can write 1 by 3 as 0.3333. So now I want to write that theta value. So I am going to write the theta value now. Theta is equal to, see, now tan is here. If I shift this tan towards this side, it becomes inverse function. So tan inverse of 0.3333. My dear students, to calculate this angle, we should use the log book. Hope you already learned how to observe the log book, so that the theta becomes equal to 80 degree. So if you don't know how to calculate this theta angle, even I will help you to calculate it with the help of log book, my dear students. In the next class I will show you. So because up to here you know how to solve, so that but here how to calculate this tan inverse of 0.3333. So that you will get a log book from a bookshop. Okay, go and collect a log book from your bookshop, so that it is of about a cost of about only 15 rupees. Just collect that book. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಆ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸೈನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಕಾಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ afterwards you will get how to calculate. Now you don't worry. So up to here you can do, and afterwards how to calculate this I will show you. So in this class I am going to repeat you again just by one log book. Next class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅದು ನೀವು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಲಾಗ್ ಬುಕ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಬೈ ದ ಲಾಗ್ ಬುಕ್ now, right? Okay, in the next video I am just going to show you how to calculate. So what is the left theta now? It is equal to 18 degrees. Therefore the woman is going to hold an umbrella along the direction of relative velocity with an angle of 18 degree, with an angle of 18 degree, right? So that is what we just calculated, the value or the direction in which that girl is going to hold the umbrella. Now let us move to the next question. Hope you all written this and hope you all solved this numerical. Now let us move to the next numerical, my dear students. Take down the question. Take down the question. Yes. Next question. A ball is thrown. Take down the question. A ball is thrown vertically upwards with the speed of 100 meters per second. Full stop. Show that the ball hits the ground with the same speed after returning from the highest point. Neglect air resistances. Pause the video and take down the question first. And now I am just moving for the calculation of the answer. That is what let us move for the solving it. So let us move for solving it, right? Yes, hope you are written, right? Yes, now let us move. Let us observe the question. A ball is thrown upwards with a speed of 100 meters per second. So we are throwing a ball upwards. We are throwing a ball upwards, right? We are throwing a ball upwards. Yes, with initial velocity equal to 100 meters per second. Whereas we are throwing a ball, after sometimes it reaches a height h. It reaches a height h, right? So now in the question they given that show that the ball hits the ground with the same speed. See here, ball hits the ground with the same speed. It means after reaching some height h, it returns back to the same position. It returns back to the same position. It returns back to the same position. That is what it returns back to the ground. It returns back to the ground, right? So what we should show now? We should show that ball is going to return back with the velocity of the same initial velocity, that is v is equal to 100 meters per second. Now let us see that. As well as neglect the air resistance. We should not consider the air resistance. So no problem, because air resistance is the velocity air variations ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So you can observe this. Here we have two kinds of journey. One is upward journey and another one is downward journey. But only the given values is u, that's it. And as well as we should calculate b. Dear students, before calculation, it means we should prove this one. We should prove that v is equal to 100 meters per second. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? We should prove this. To prove this, we have only one given value, that is u is equal to 100 meters per second. So here this is said to be upward journey. It means when you throw the ball, it reaches to the highest point. Whereas at highest point, I think you know that always the velocity is 0. Right. After that, here the ball starts its journey for downward motion. So downward motion initial velocity 0 agata. So afterwards it reaches the ground with a velocity of 100 meters per second. Highest point alli velocity avalu 0 irutte, but one upward motion mattondhu downward motion anta consider ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ for upward journey, so that you can observe after reaching an highest point, here the velocity becomes 0. Here it is initial velocity, so I have just written it as final velocity. But in the question they given that it is going to return back to the ground with a velocity of 100 meters per second. Then it means it becomes a final velocity. Then what will be the initial velocity for the downward journey? It is 0, because at highest point always the velocity is 0. Hope you got, right? I just divided this into two parts. They given only this much. They given only this much. But they given this initial velocity, we should calculate the v. That is, we should prove that the velocity when it reaches the ground is equal to 100 meter per second. To solve this, what I just made, I just divided this into two parts. One is for upward journey and another one is for downward journey. For upward journey, u is 100 meter per second. So that the final velocity is 0 here at highest point. Now forget this. I am having for downward motion. For downward motion, here it is said to be initial velocity and this is said to be final velocity. At highest point, it is always equal to 0. So I just mentioned u as equal to 0. Yes, now let us move on. So I am going to divide it for two types. So that I am going to divide it into two different categories. That is for upward journey. I am moving for upward motion of a ball. Upward motion of a ball. What is initial velocity? So it is equal to 100 meter per second. What is the final velocity? V is equal to 0 meter per second. Dear students, we are throwing a ball upwards, but the acceleration due to that is always downwards. For upward journey, always the acceleration is equal to minus g, which is equal to minus 9.8 meter per second square. Right? Now let us move for the calculation of height. So it can be calculated just by using the formula v square. That is what 2as is equal to v square minus u square. So I am using the same formula. 2gh is equal to v square minus u square. Right? So here I want to calculate h, which is equal to v square minus u square divided by 2g. Right? Now h is equal to, what is v square? V is 0. So this term becomes equal to 0. Minus u square is there. It means 100 square. 100 square is 10,000. Right? Divided by, here it is 2 into minus g is minus 9.8. So it is minus 9.8. For making my calculation easy, 9.8 is written in terms of 10. So that 0 and 0 cancel with each other. Minus cancel with each other. Remaining is 1000 divided by 2. Right. So now h is equal to 2 ones are 2 5s are 10. So that h is equal to 500 meter. So finally we calculated the height of the journey of a ball is equal to 500 meter. Now we should prove that the final velocity is equal to 100 meter per second. Okay, to prove that it is equal to 100 meter per second, so that my dear students, I already said you that I have divided the numerical into two parts. One is for upward journey and another is for downward motion. Now I am moving with for downward motion. Yes, for downward motion. Now for downward motion, what is the initial velocity? U is equal to question 0. And here they have not given this. We should prove that. In the question they given that, we should show that V is equal to 100. So we don't know V, just put V is equal to question mark. And here this is for downward journey, right? So for downward journey, acceleration is always equal to plus g, that is equal to 10 meter per second square. For my calculation, I just equated the 9.8 nearly equal to 10. Now let us use the same formula. V square minus u square is equal to 2gh. Yes, I want to calculate V, so keep V square. Whereas u is 0, so this becomes equal to 0. Remaining is 2gh. Whereas I calculated h is equal to 500 meters. So V square is equal to 2 into g is 10. 10 into, what is this? 500. So now I am just going to multiply it with 500. So 2 into 500 becomes 1000. 1000 into 10 is 10,000. Write it as 10,000. So V square is equal to 10,000. By applying the square root on both the sides, V becomes equal to 100, whereas SI unit for the velocity is meter per second. Finally, we got the velocity is equal to 100 meter per second. So we proved that the final velocity or the velocity with which the ball reaches the ground is equal to the initial velocity, that is equal to 100 meter per second. So hope you all completed this. Now let us move to the next numerical. Let's take on the next numerical. First take on the question and then next let us move on to that. So in your PDF, my dear students, whatever the PDF that I uploaded in the Google Classroom, so you can see the question number 6. So I am going to solve that question number 6 now. So take on the question. So a car is moving along a straight highway with a speed of 126 km per hour. Is brought to stop within a distance of 200 meter. Full stop. What is the retardation of the car? Full stop. And how long does it take for the car to stop? This was the question. First the video, I taken the question first. So I am just going to read the question again. A car is moving along a straight highway with a speed of 126 km per hour. Is brought to stop within a distance of 200 meters. What is the retardation of the car and how long does it take for the car to come to the rest? Dear students, now let us move on for the solution. So the question was question number 6 in your PDF. Whereas I am just going to read the question and simultaneously I will write the given values now. A car is moving along a straight highway with a speed of, see here, car is moving along straight line, no issues. Then what is the speed? They given which is equal to 126 km per hour. So let us write that the speed of the car, initial velocity of the car is equal to 126 km per hour. Let us convert this into meter per second. So U is equal to 126. So kilometer is converted into meter. So that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters divided by hour is that. To convert it into second. So hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So now here it is of about 1260 divided by 36. If you just do this, you will get which is equal to 35. Use your calculator and calculate it. You will get U is equal to 35 meter per second. Now let us continue that. Let us continue the question. Is brought to stop within a distance of 200 meter. So actually this car is brought at rest with a distance of 200 meter. It means after covering a distance of 200 meter, the car is brought to rest. Already while discussing in the theory class, I said you that if the object is starting from the rest position, initial velocity becomes 0. Suppose the object is going to come to rest after its journey, so that the final velocity is taken as 0 meter per second. So that the final velocity is 0 because the car is going to stop after covering a distance of 200 meter. Yes. What is the retardation of the car? See here what we should calculate. What is the retardation? See, while discussing some graphs and also while just discussing one of the numerical, I just said you that decreasing acceleration, deceleration is just said to be a retardation. So that the retardation is also represented by the symbol A. Because here the velocity is 35 initially, then it becomes equal to 0 finally. It means the acceleration is reducing. So that it is called as a retardation. So that A is equal to question mark. Next. How long does it take for the car to stop? How long does it take for the car to stop? This was a question. So that what we should calculate here. So the time taken. Yes, the time taken there to stop the car. Time is equal to question mark. So these are the given values. Right. Now let us move for the formula. Which formula is feasible to calculate acceleration and time? First let us move for the calculation of acceleration. So that the acceleration can be easily calculated using only one single formula which is not having time. Because we have three equations of motion. In the three equations of motion, only one formula is there without time. That is what? V square minus u square is equal to 2as. Yes. Now, what is this? Here v square, v is 0. So, this term becomes equal to 0. Now, minus u square. U is 35. So, 35 square is equal to 2 into what is A? We don't know. Write A as it is. And into what we want to write? S. S is equal to 200. Right? S is equal to 200. Dear students, use your calculator and calculate that. What is the value of 35 square? The value of 35 square is 1225, which is equal to 200 into 2 is 400 into A. I want to calculate this retardation. So keep A as it is. Shift 400. So it becomes minus 1225 divided by 400. So A is equal to minus, use your calculator, just divide 1225 by 400. So you will get minus 3.06. Minus 3.06. Whereas retardation or the acceleration is with an SI unit of meter per second square. So finally, we calculated the retardation. Dear students, you can observe that retardation means decreasing acceleration, or even we can call it as deceleration. So it means this acceleration should be represented by negative sign. This negative sign exactly shows you that the acceleration is decreasing, or it is said to be the retardation. Now let us move for the calculation of time. We calculated the acceleration. Now let us move for the calculation of time taken. So how to calculate the time here? Just you can use any of the formula. That is what V is equal to U plus AT, or X is equal to UT plus of AT square. So I am using a simple formula. That is what V is equal to U plus AT. Right. I want to calculate the time. So now it becomes, if I shift plus U towards this side, it becomes minus U, which is equal to A into T. Now finally T is equal to, shift A towards this side, it becomes V minus U by A. V minus U by A. Dear students, what is D here? Here it is 0. T is equal to V is 0. Minus what is U here? It is 35. So minus 35 divided by what is A? We calculated it is minus 3.06. So here 0 minus 35 is minus 35 divided by minus 3.06. Minus minus cancel with each other. So that finally time T is equal to 35 by 3.06. Use your calculator. After dividing this, you will get this is equal to 11.4 seconds. SI unit for time is second. So that 35 by 3.06 gives you 11.4. Right. That is what the time required as well as the retardation taken by the car. Okay, dear students, now let us move to the next numerical. Take down the last numerical which comes under this chapter, and after completing this numericals, we can end of this. So, my dear students, so the question was like this. Take down the question. On a 2-lane road, car A is traveling with a speed of 36 km per hour. Full stop. Two cars B and C approach car A in opposite direction with a speed of 54 km per hour each. At a certain instant, when the distance AB is equal to AC, both being 1 km, B decides to overtake A before C does. Full stop. What minimum acceleration of a car B is required to avoid an accident? Good. So hope you all written the question. So let us move for solving of this. Before going to solve, let us write the given values, my dear students. Here on a 2-lane road. Here we have 2-lane road. I am just going to write the 2-lane road. So I am just going to represent the 2-lane road. So this is what the 2-lane road I am going to represent. So we have the 2-lane road. Yes, this is what the 2-lane road, right? So that a car A is traveling with a speed of 36 km per hour. Here we have car A, whereas this car A is moving with, I am just going to write it as car A is moving with a velocity of 36 km per hour. Write it as 36 km per hour. Convert it into meter per second. So it means 36 into 1000 divided by 3600. 36. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So just use your calculator and solve it. So here it is 0 cancel with each other. 360 by 36, which is equal to 10 meter per second. Next, the question was continued. Two cars A and B. Two cars B and C approach car A in opposite direction with a speed of 54 km each. It means here we have two cars. So that is said to be B. So and another one is said to be C. Right. So we have two cars. These two cars are moving in an opposite direction and they are approaching A. Both these cars are coming. It means avaradu kuda ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ opposite direction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದಾವೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ಈ B ಮತ್ತು C ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ A ಕಡೆಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. A ಹತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾವೆ. What is the velocity they given? They given it is found to be 54 km per hour. So VB is equal to VC. Velocity of B car and velocity of C car both are is equal to 54 km per hour. Let us convert this into meter per second. So it is equal to 54 into 1000 divided by 3600. It becomes equal to 15 meters per second. So VB is equal to VC is equal to 15 meter per second. Right. Now, what is the question? When the distance AB is equal to AC. When the distance AB is equal to AC, both are being 1 kilometer. They given that when the distance between A car and the B car as well as the distance between A car, that is what C car, that is said to be, you can see that when the distance between AB and AC, the AB car madhye ಮತ್ತು AC car madhye ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರುತ್ತದೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೀಟರ್ 1000 ಮೀಟರ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಎರಡು ಕಾರ್ಸ್. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ AC ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ AB ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಥರ 1 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಡ್. B ಡಿಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್ A. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇವೆರಡಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ A and B is 1 and A and C is 1. ಅಂತ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ B ಡಿಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್. B ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಸಿನ ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನೋ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. What minimum acceleration of car B is required to avoid the accident? So hagadre what is the acceleration acquired by the car B? That is what which is equal to question mark. So to calculate this, first we should know the time and also we should know what is the initial and the final velocity and all such things to use the equations of motion. Then what we should calculate this time as well as acceleration. So my dear students, to calculate this acceleration, we should know the time taken first, then to apply it in the equations of motion. Now I am going towards the calculation of time. To calculate the time, I am going to calculate the velocity of B with respect to A and velocity of C with respect to A. See, I am just calculating the velocity of B with respect to A. It can be calculated as VB minus VA. So what is VB here? VB is equal to 15 meter per second. VA is 10. 15 minus 10 is 5 meter per second. I got the relative velocity of car B with respect to A is found to be equal to 5 meter per second. Now let us calculate the relative velocity of car C with respect to A. So So that is VCA is equal to, observe carefully, whereas A and B are moving in the same direction. So that if the car, both are moving in the same direction, so relative velocity of relative velocity of VA can be written as VB minus VC. But A and C are moving in opposite direction. So how to write this? It becomes VC plus VA because both these two cars are moving in opposite direction according to the derivation of relative velocity. Now, what is this VC? So now let us substitute the value of VC, that is 15 meter per second. For VA it is of about 10. So 10 plus 15 is 25 meter per second. Yes. Now we calculated this. Let us move towards the calculation of time taken. See my dear students, this B is also moving to approach A, C is also moving to approach A, whereas they are going to take a time, similar time to reach a distance of 1 kilometer between A and B as well as 1 kilometer between A and C. So that what happens now, I am going to calculate this by using a formula, that is what S is equal to, see here, I am using a formula, S is equal to UT plus of AT square. Even you can move with the formula, B is equal to U plus AT. So even you can use one of the best formula, that is what velocity is equal to distance travelled by time taken. So my dear students, here the distance travelled, yes, that is what AT is equal to AC, which is equal to S or X, that is the distance between A and B and A and C is 1 kilometer. So that the distance travelled is equal to velocity into time taken. See here, for this velocity I am substituting VCA. Then S is 1000 meter, which was given in the question, which is equal to, what is VCA? Here it is 25 into T. T is equal to 1000 divided by 25, which is equal to 4 seconds. Sorry, 40 seconds. Yes, 40 seconds. So that time taken by the car C to approach A, which is of about a distance equal to 1 kilometer, is 40 seconds. Then with the same time, with the same 40 seconds, car B tried to approach the car A and maintains a distance of 1 kilometer, and again this B accelerates to overtake this A. And then same time ಅಲ್ಲಿ car B car A ಹತ್ರ approach ಆಗಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ ಏನು ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಕಾರ್ ಸಿ ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ಕಾರ್ ಬಿ ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಬಟ್ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾರ್ ಬಿನ ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರೇಷನ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ನೌ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಬೈ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರೇಷನ್ ನೌ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರೇಷನ್? ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ S is equal to UT plus of AT square. So this velocity is, because I am calculating for B, right? So hagadre velocity adadu baribeku. I want to write the velocity for VBA. VBA, that is relative velocity of VBA. Distance is 1000 and VBA is 5 into time is 40 seconds plus 1 by 2. I don't know the acceleration into 40 square. Into 40 square. That is what T square is, 40 square. See 5 4s are 20. This one is 200. Right? Then 200 agata. 200 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ 1000 minus 200. It becomes 800, which is equal to 1 by 2 into 40 square. 40 square. 40 into 40. Or else you can write it as 1600. 1600 into AB, right? Cross multiply it. So what happens now? So if you cross multiply this, see, otherwise 2 ones are 2 800s are 800 800 cancel. Remaining is, I am writing it here. So remaining is AB is equal to 1 meter per second square. So that the acceleration of a car B is 1 meter per second square to overtake A without doing any accident. Hope you got this. Okay, thank you my dear students. This completes your motionless straight line chapter. Okay, thank you.